minimum as per the fare conditions. And the minimum stay means if it's a round trip journey, and if, for an example, let's take an example for Dubai. So passenger can go on Dubai and come back on the same day. So if it is a one day, if it is going for in such a way, so the fare condition would be different. The minimum stay condition would be different for that kind of a fare. So that will be automatically picked up once you do FXX. You will see NVB and NVA line there. Okay. Or you can go and read from the fare rules FQN1 star MN MX. Remember we discussed about that yesterday? Okay. Now let's begin the session then. Uh, let's look at this fare. Uh, Satwik, look at this fare. Now, what is the not valid before? That means what is the minimum stay condition given for this fare? Satvik, tell me the minimum stay condition. Satvik, am I audible, Satvik? So tell me what is the minimum stay condition given for this fare? I have already highlighted this NVB, not valid before. That's called the minimum stay. And the minimum stay for my outbound journey is given nothing, which means there is no minimum stay condition given as per the fare. And how much is the maximum stay condition given? It is also showing nothing, which means there is no maximum stay conditions applicable for that fare, which simply means that the maximum stay conditions, always remember, the maximum stay condition is not beyond the 12 months. So the fare will be valid and the maximum stay condition will be valid for not more than 12 months. So if it is my outbound journey 23rd of August, so what will be the maximum stay condition? Satwik, tell me. So tell me the date. Waiting for the response, Satwik. 23rd of August 2020. And notice the next line is giving you one answer, that what is the minimum stay condition for the return journey that is given here? 24th of August. That means the passenger can stay at least one day to get this fare. And now tell me, Satvik, is the fare valid as per the stay condition? Whatever the date that we have chosen, is this fare valid? Passenger is returning on which date, Satvik? So is this fare valid? Yes or no? And that is why we are getting no fare valid. How can you say no, that's no fare valid? Tell me. Understood how the fare is valid? Because the minimum stay condition is picked up. The minimum stay condition is already followed by this PNR. And that's why we are getting this fare. Is that clear? So for this fair basis, if you go and read the minimum stay condition, you will find the minimum stay conditions line given. Now tell me, how will I read the minimum stay condition for this fare? Tell me the command to find out the minimum stay condition. Satvik, waiting for your response. Yesterday I just gave you the answer. Anyone have an idea what is the command to find out the minimum stay condition for any fare? Waiting for the response. Okay, FQN, what's next? Okay, FQN 1-1. You're not giving the full answer. Look at this option. How do I find out the minimum stay condition? Absolutely correct, Saurav. Thank you so very much. Now, what about Satvik? How do you find out the minimum stay condition? Satvik, waiting for response. Now, here I did the same thing. Now, what is the minimum stay condition given? Read it. Travel from the last stopover commence no earlier than 1 day after the departure. That's why it is showing you here 24th of August. Is that clear? Satvik, is that clear? Now, Satvik, tell me, how do I read the maximum stay condition? How do I read the rules of maximum stay condition for that fare? How do I read it? Satvik, waiting for the response. Satvik, thank you so much, Muhammad Vrushali. Okay, so let's do this command and let's read the maximum stay condition. Now tell me, what is the maximum stay condition for that particular fare? The travel from the last stopover must no later than 12 months. Later than means it should not stay more than the 12 months from the last stopover. So now if I ask you a question, Satvik, what is then my last stopover? What is the date of my last stopover? Satvik, waiting for response. Last stopover, 12 September is my return date. So what is my last stopover date? Absolutely correct. 23rd of August. That's the my arrival point and arrival day. So is my fare conditions fulfilling? So that's why we are getting the fare, because the stay condition is also fulfilled. The maximum stay condition. Is that clear? So which simply means the fare which I am getting here, whatever the fare I am getting here, has a minimum stay and a maximum stay. And what is the minimum stay? 24th of August. That means 1 day minimum stay. And now what is the maximum stay? 12 months. And that's why there is nothing mentioned, which simply means that it's a 1 year valid fare. Is that clear, Satvik? All right. Now let's go and start from the tomorrow's leftover topic. So the last day we have discussed about negotiated fare. Yes or no? And what are the two different types of negotiated fare ticketing? There are net remit ticketing and IT ticketing. And we have discussed about the IT ticketing that it's a way of issuing tickets using a special fare which is not associated with a published fare. However, the airline gives you or gives the travel agent a direction that what are the fare to use, and you must have to add a tour code, and that tour code will identify the type of agreement. Yes or no? And what will be the base fare indicator for that IT fare? What will be the base fare indicator for the IT fare? I. And what will be the base fare indicator for the published fare? Huh? Abhijit? P. U. Okay. Now, all of you will answer this, my question. Tell me, how do I find out the published fare? How do I find out the published fare? Absolutely correct. FXX. Now, if I wanted to store the fare for the published fare, um, so how will I store the fare? With the command FXP. Correct? Now, if I display the TQT, now tell me what is the base fare indicator for the published fare? Now understood? All right. Now let's go and talk about our second topic, that is net remit ticket. Now, what is net remit ticket? So this ticketing is associated with the published fare. Okay, so the net remit ticket is associated with the published fare, and it is an agreement between the airlines and the agent for the net fare, which is called as a discounted published fare, or you might charge higher commission from the airlines. Okay, so the incentive tour ticketing is not associated with the published fare, but the net remit ticket is associated with the published fare. And the agreement between the agent and the airline is depending on the net fare, which is called as a discounted fare on the published fare. Discount given on the published fare, or you might get a higher commission from the airline, or you can claim a higher commission from the airline. Is that clear? So for that, I have already created a PNR. Give me one second. Let me retrieve that net remit PNR. Okay, here. See, this is a PNR for the sector Delhi, Singapore, Singapore, Delhi. Okay. Now, how do I find out? Let's go and talk about the steps. So the step number one for issuing the net remit ticket is to price the PNR with the command fxp/r, u. So now you might ask me a question, why am I using the r, u? Because r, u will give you the negotiated fare. Yes or no? And the topic which we have already discussed as the negotiated fare, and there are two ways of ticketing. One is net remit and the other one is incentive tour ticketing. So we have already discussed about the incentive tour ticketing. Now we are going to discuss about the net remit. So if I have to get a negotiated fare, I will always use the fxp/r, u. Now it depends with the tour code, either it is a net remit or either it is a on incentive tour ticketing. Is that clear? The command remains the same because we are looking for a negotiated fare. And let's go and do this. Now, do we get a negotiated fare? Yes or no? And how much is the baggage allowed? 30 kg. So my step number one is done. So here, what we do, we first of all price the PNR and get the auto pricings to be done. Is that clear? Done. Now let's go and add the commission in the PNR. So remember I told you that for the net remit fare, for the net remit ticketing, there will be an agreement done between airline and the agent to get a net fare, and this is called a discounted published fare for the higher commission. So let's go and add the commission in the PNR. And let's take an example. The airline has given me a 5% commission. Okay. Now remember, this commission is on top of an extra commission because this is right now the airline has agreed, and between the agents and the airline, this is an agreement that we will give you a 5% commission on your PNR. Done? Yes or no? So let's add the commission. So we have added the commission as per the airline's agreement. Now we need to add the tour code because for the negotiated fare, you must have to add a tour code. And that tour code will identify whether it is a net remit ticketing or whether it is an ticket issuance. So to add a tour code for the issuance of net remit, the command would be FTNR. Remember, in the IT ticketing, what do we type here for IT ticketing? What will be the command? What would be the command for IT ticketing? FTIT. Abdul, FTNR is for the net remit ticketing. But for IT ticketing, remember we discussed about yesterday FTIT. So for the net remit, this is the way it will identify that it is a net remit ticketing or a IT ticketing. Clear? Is that clear? Now, followed by the tour code. So the airline will give you a tour code. Let me go and type the tour code SQ123. This is a tour code provided by the airline, and you will get the tour code by the airline over the email. Okay, so please always add the tour code. Now for the tour code, I have given you one line which is present here, which I have already given, that auto picked tour code will auto picked by the command FXP. So tell me, is the tour code added in the PNR? Can anyone check and let me know, is the tour code added? Yes or no? Tell me what is the line number for the tour code? Everybody is telling no. Okay, look at the line number 7. Is the tour code added? Now tell me yes or no. So this is how the tour code is automatically added. So remember yesterday I talked, and today I'm going to repeat the same thing, that whenever you do FXP command, picked up. Okay. If not, then update it manually. For my condition, the tour code is added, so I'm not going to add the form. And for the limited ticketing, the form of payment would always show as FPNR. FPNR. So FPNR stands me that form of payment as a net remit, and followed by now you are going to add the form of payment. Now, if you are going to make the form of payment as a cash, which means this is going to be debited from the travel agency account, we add the cash. Is that clear? Is that clear with everyone? Okay. Now, since this is a net remit ticketing, so don't forget to add the exact TST value. So how do I find out the TST value? Tell me, how do I find out the TST value? Let me divide the screen and type the command TQT. And how much is the TST value? Tell me. 87287. So I will simply copy this 87287 and put a slash and enter this total TST value. So this is the step how to add the form of payment for the net remit ticketing. Is that clear? Let's add it. So the form of payment gets added in the PNR. Now the next thing. The next thing is about if you wanted to add the form of payment on a credit card, like your cash limit has been exhausted, or you wanted to issue the tickets on credit card, then in that case, you will type FPNR plus the CC to identify and to show that this is a credit card type, followed by the two-letter credit card, the 16-digit credit card number slash the expiration date and slash the TST value. Is that clear? If you're going to add the form of payment as a credit card. Okay, now let me go and save every details in the PNR. Now, is my PNR ready for the ticketing? Tell me. So we have already added the TST, the validating carrier is already added, the commission is already added, the tour code is added, the form of payment is added. That means every ticketing mandatory elements are added. Now, however, if you wanted to verify whether it is being every element is present or not, I will do TTP/TKT. This will pre-validate every elements are present or not. And there is a warning error. Now, what is the error coming up? Can anyone tell me? Which simply means that the net remit ticketing has not a valid tour code. So the FT element is not valid. So this is the error message, which means the FXP command has picked up incorrect tour code. So now what we need to do? And remember, I told you tour code manually, the TST indicator got changed. Now you will see the TST indicator is changed. Let me show you. Let me show you the TST. Now the TST indicator is showing FN. Yes or no? That's the indicator for the net remit. But the moment I delete this and I'm going to add the tour code manually, let's add FTNRSQ123. This is the tour code, correct tour code. Let's add it. Now the tour code gets added. Yes, no? And then if I show you the TST indicator got changed, which means you have lost the Amadeus guarantee indicator. So that then it is given here one more line that if you are going to change the tour code manually, ensure to add the tour code correct. So then there will be no issue. Or otherwise, if there will be an incorrect tour code, you might receive a ADM from the airline. Now let's go and save this. Now there is one more thing. Now for the net remit ticketing, can anyone tell me what is the base fare indicator? Tell me the base fare indicator. F. So the F indicates for the published fare or for the negotiated fare also. And for the negotiated fare, if it is a net remit ticketing, it will show as an F. If it is a IT ticketing, it will show as an I. Is that clear with everyone? Okay, now let's go and type TTP/TKT to pre-validate whether it is the elements are present or not. So it gives me a message, okay to ticket. Now you do TTP/RT so that the ticket got issued and the PNR will get redisplayed on the screen. The message says okay e-ticket, that means the ticket has been issued for the particular PNR, and you will see two elements, FA element and FB element. Is that clear? Now, if I wanted to show you the e-ticket record, how do I display the e-ticket record? Which is stored on the airline server TWD. Because I am in the PNR, I have already opened the PNR, then I will simply do TWD. There is a single FA line, so this will simply open the e-ticket record. But if there are multiple FA lines, then we will do TWD slash and the line number. So now let's go and read this. This is the ticket number, record locator, origin destination. Now the FCPI indicator, the point of issuance, the date of issuance, IATA of issuance. Here is the name and the e-ticket coupon status, followed by these details. Is that clear? So this is how you will be able to see the e-ticket record as well. Is that clear? Now, anyone have any question? Let me send you the steps in your chat box for the net remit ticketing. I have pasted the steps in the chat box. Uh, Devendra, my name is Naveen. All right. Now, everybody has noted these steps. Ravendra, then you must have joined with the application. So please log out and then join it again to just with the web browser. And once you join with the web browser, then you will be able to copy. All right, can we start with the next topic quickly? All right, now I'm going to start with the next topic, which is related with manual TST. And for that, I have already created a PNR. Let me retrieve that PNR first of all. And let's understand what is a manual TST. Why do we need to create a manual TST? So always remember, it is highly recommended to create the TST through automations. That means automatic TST should be highly recommended. But there are few conditions which will create and which we need to follow and which we need to create a manual TST. Now, what are those conditions? The number one condition that there is a PNR and you sell the seats of that particular class, and you must have come across, once you do FXX, you got to see no fare available. Yes or no? You might have come across these situations. You have sell the seats, the class of service is available, but you are not able to find out the fare once you do FXX entry. Yes or no? Now that's the number one conditions. Number two condition, that the fare is not filed by the airline on this for you, and the airline has is giving you the fare for that particular class on the email. And once they send you the fare on the email, with the help of that fare, you'll be able to create a manual TST. All right. So remember, once you are going to create a manual TST, so everything should be cross-checked and follow the same steps which is being given by the airline. So do not add anything extra in the TST, because if you do so, the airline will send you the ADM for that part. Is that clear? Okay. Is that clear with everyone? Okay, so this is a PNR for Lufthansa airline, Delhi to New York, New York to Delhi via Frankfurt. Okay, and if I am going to price the PNR, I am not able to get the fare for this class of service. Okay, so now I contacted the airline, and airline provide me the fare over the email. Okay, so let me show you the email, how the airline sends to you. So this is a format of the email which airline sends to you, with the details in the about the base fare, the fare basis, followed by the minimum stay, the maximum stay, the baggage information, and how to create a manual TST. What is the reason for manual TST creation? So here I have already noted that part. Manual TST needs to be created if the fares are not filed on Amadeus. It can either for the individual passenger or for a group booking also. So now we need to learn about the manual TST. And remember, on the day one, I discussed about one thing about the TST. How many parts are there in the TST? How many parts are there in the TST? Correct. The TST has how many parts? Three parts. Okay, and that is the reason I give specifically give you the explanation. The TST has three parts. Number one is the itinerary part, base fare and the taxes part, and the third is the fare ladder part. So we will add each and every part through manually. Is that clear? So let's go and start with the step number one. And the step number one will give me a command to create a blank TST shell. Shell means a area where we will add all of these three elements. All right. So what is the command to create a TST shell? That means the area where we will add all these three parts. What is the command? TTC. This command will create a blank TST shell. Now, the TTC command have further more follow-up commands. So if you wanted to read about the further more follow-up commands of the TTC, like you wanted to create a TST with the segment wise, TST for the passenger wise, then here is the help page for the TTC command. HETTC. And here you will get that you wanted to create a TST by the segment wise, by passenger wise, TST bar for the infant passenger, TST for the specific TST, the specific TST numbers or the TST data. These are the different follow-up entries. With the help of this command, you will follow that TST creations. Now, here we are going to simply create a TST for all the segments for the passenger name which is given here. Is that clear? So I will simply type TTC. And the moment I type and press enter, a TST number, that means the TST gets created with the TST number 1, followed by the office ID. Who has created the TST? Naveen Mishra. So this is my name initials. When was the TST created? 24th of June. And is the TST created automatically? No, the TST is created through manually. And this is the FCPI indicator. Is that clear with everyone? And what is the origin and destination as per the PNR? That is Delhi to Delhi. Now, is there any command that we have performed to create the TST? No command has been performed, and that's why there is no TST creations command is showing you here, because we have created it through manually. And the TTC will pick up the name of the passenger followed by the segment, all the journey segments. So Delhi, Frankfurt, Frankfurt, New York, JFK, Frankfurt, Frankfurt, Delhi. So this is how Delhi, Frankfurt, JFK, Frankfurt, Delhi. This is how the system got picked up. Is that clear? Now, the system not get only picked up the origin and the destinations, the origin date, that means the travel date and the return date. Departure date and the return dates, followed by the travel departing flight timings and arrival flight timings. So every details is picked up from the PNR, whichever is added as the part of journey. Is that clear? Okay. Now we will have to add the TST missing elements. So let's go and start adding the TST missing elements. Now, what all the details are missing in the TST? What all the details? Fare basis. Yes or no? The validity dates, the baggage allowance, the uh, the base fare amounts, the fare linear. So all of these are missing elements in the PNR. We will add the fare basis, validity dates, and the package allowance one by one. Okay. Now, to add every elements in the TST, like fare basis, validity dates, there is a keyword, or you can say there is a specific letter to be used that will identify the system that, okay, are you going to add a fair basis? Are you going to add a validity dates? So, because without it, how the system will identify that are you going to add a validity dates only? You're not going to add a published fair rates or base fare or a taxes part. Yes or no? Tell me. So then to add, and you need to remember these words because in the reissuance topic, we will do the same thing again and again. So please read it. So to add fair basis in the PNR, which keyword we use? B. Similarly, for the validity dates, we use V. For the baggage allowance, we use A. And similar for the fare, base fare, we use F because the base fare indicator is F. The taxes indicator is X. Remember, we always see the taxes indicator as X, which means it's a to be paid taxes. And the fare linear to be added with a keyword C. All right. Is that clear? How do we add the details in the TST? All right. Now, the TST has the three part and the first part is itinerary part. Yes or no? So how do we add the TST itinerary part? And the TST itinerary part has three missing elements. What are the three missing elements? The fare basis, the validity, and the baggage allowance. Yes or no? And these will be shown at the lines here, the fare basis, the validity dates, and the baggage. Yes or no? So all of these will be shown in this lines. Yes or no? Okay. Now, from where do I find out the fare basis? So the fare basis is given by the airline over the email. Here is the fare basis. And the fare bases are given, two different fare bases are given, sorry. The two different fare bases are given. Now, why there are two different fare bases? Can anyone tell me? Look at the, it's a round trip journey, absolutely correct. And there are two different class of service, two RBDs are there, absolutely correct. And that's why there are two different fare bases given. Great. So to add the first fare basis, we will simply first of all copy the fare basis and we will start with the first command. If I have to add the fare basis, we will type the command TTI. TTI. Now remember this one. If the TST is blank, that means everything is missing in the TST, and we are going to add everything as a new, then we will add TTI. Remember this line. So my TST is completely blank. There is nothing values there. So I will run the command TTI to add those values. Is that clear? Now, TTI slash T1. T1 means my TST number. So what is my TST number? TST number 1. So I type this TST number 1 slash. Now, what is the keyword to be shown for the fare basis? What is the keyword? Tell me. B. So I will type the keyword B because now I am going to show the fare basis here. And the first fare basis is I have already copied. Now tell me, is this fare basis for which of the line numbers? Line number 1 or line number 2? See, line number 1, line number 2, line number 3, and line number 4. So if, let's take an example. If I will simply press enter, now look at the result, what happened here. Now what happened here? The pair basis for the kilo class got updated in all the four line numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes or no? But I have to add the fair basis for the kilo class in only the line number 1 and line number 2. And for the line number 3 and the line number 4, I have to add a different fair basis code. Yes or no? So how do I do this? How do I update this part? And how do I change it? Then I will do this command TTI slash, and then I will type the line number 2 hyphen, line number 3 hyphen 4 slash. This will update the fair basis for the line number 3 and 4. So let me copy this from here and let me press enter. And the moment I press enter, you will be able to see that, okay, now the line number 3 and line number 4 fair basis got updated. Yes or no? So did you understand what I have done here? Anyone have any question? So if the fair basis is common for all the line numbers. So Abdul said no. Okay. Anyhow, let me do this IR. Now, Abdul, tell me what is the command that I will use to create a blank TST. Now, let's do a repeat here. Tell me what is the command to create a blank TST? TTC. Let's do that. Done. Now, TST has three parts that we have understood. Now, we need to add the fair basis on the itinerary part. And you see, there are two different fare bases given by the airline because there are two RBDs available. Yes or no? So to add the fare basis for the line number 1 and 2 only, that means for the line number 1 and the line number 2, there is a kilo class and the kilo class is the fare basis KNCS 4R. So how do I update it? Type the command TTI slash T1 slash L1 hyphen 2 slash B and paste the fare basis. Absolutely correct, Abdul. Is that clear with everyone? Now let's press enter. Now did you see? For the line number 1 and line number 2, the fare basis kilo class gets updated. Yes or no? Is that clear with everyone? No, Devendra, there is no such full form. So TTC is the command just to create a blank TST shell, okay? All right. Now, all of you tell me, if I wanted to add the fare basis for the line number 3 and the line number 4, and the fare basis is, let me copy this fare basis. Now, what command that I will perform here to add the fare basis at the line number 3 and 4? Tell me, everybody. The command would be, let me come to the notepad here. And the command would be TTI slash T1 slash the line number 3, line number 4 slash B and the fare basis. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, fair Devendra. This is how
In
you
the
will
note,
simply
it is
type the
mentioned
command.
as
Sorry,
L1.
yes?
Instead of T1 in the notes, it is mentioned at L1.
I'm really sorry. I'm not able to hear your voice properly. Can you come again, please?
I'm saying that in your notes, sir, instead of T1, it is mentioned at L1 in the notes. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the T1 and then slash L3 and L4, right? Okay, that you
Ah,
rectify now. Okay, okay, no issue.
so is that clear?
Yeah, now it is clear, clear.
No, earlier I mentioned it with the only the line numbers one and two something. So now I changed these lines. So clear? Abdul, is that clear? Now let's go and press enter. Now this gets updated for my line number 3 and the line number 4. Is that clear? How do we update the fare basis for the different line numbers? Now, anyone have any question? How do you update it one by one? Anyone? If no questions, please type no.
Yeah, so is there any command that like we can add the both of the fare versus could say in one command?
Um, One second, let me put down the headphone because there is a very low volume coming up. One second. Now, can you come again, please?
Yeah, so I was asking any command, I mean, that we can add both the fare bases in one go.
Yes, there is a command, but let's first of all understand it one by one. So first
Oh,
understand the one by one how to add the fare basis on the line numbers. Now, if you wanted to know about the one single go where you can add all the things, here you will simply do that. Um, I'm going to copy paste the same here, same line, and I'm going to mention instead of this line number 3 and 4, first of all, line number 1 and 2, add the fare basis here. Let me change the fare basis. Then you will do slash L3 hyphen 4 slash B and the fare basis. Understood? So this is a single command which will update the fare basis for both the lines. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
This is a command. You can note down. Now, once we have updated the fare basis, let's go and talk about the validity dates. Now, where do I read the validity rates? Again, come to the mail and read the minimum stay and a maximum stay. Now, tell me which one the date will come first. The minimum stay date comes first or the maximum stay date comes first? The minimum stay. So the minimum stay, what is the minimum stay condition given as per the mail? Tell me. So the travel from the last turnover must commence not earlier than 4 days. So and my fare origin date is 18th of July. Yes or no? So the minimum stay condition would be what date as per the fare rules? Tell me. Absolutely correct. 22nd of July. And what will be the maximum stay condition? How much is the maximum stay conditions given? 18th July. So let's update the minimum and the maximum stay conditions with the command TTI slash T1, and the minimum and the maximum stay condition is to be updated for all the line numbers. The same will be applicable. Yes or no? So how will I update it? Then I will simply put slash and look at the command here given. After the T1, then you have to mention the which keyword V to update the minimum stay condition. And the minimum stay is 22nd July and the maximum stay is 18th July. This is how I will mention, and the minimum and the maximum stay conditions gets updated. Press enter. Updated? Yes, no? Is that clear? All right. Now the next one. The next missing element is to add the baggage allowance. And how do we add? Devendra, what I need to repeat? Here is the command. Because the NVB not valid before comes first, which is a minimum stay, not valid after, which is a maximum stay. I mentioned, and from where do I read this? So here is the mention that it should not earlier than the 4 days. So the customer should not return with a minimum stay of 22nd of July from the last stopover. Clear, Devendra? And the maximum will be the 12 months. Is that clear, Devendra?
Could you please recall it? The agents over here, they're not getting this point.
I'm recalling it. That means, can I start from the beginning?
Just the point how you're adding this minimum and maximum stay and what is the calc for the same thing.
Okay, so the condition as per the email sent by the airline is travel from the turnaround must commence no earlier than 4 days. So what is which is my turnaround date? Tell me. Turnaround means that if a passenger is going from one of the origin and reaching to the maximum the longest distance. So which one is the longest distance? The New York, and it is reaching on the New York on which date?
18th of July.
18th of July. So it should not come earlier than the 4 days after the departure. So if I add, because this is a minimum condition, so the passenger should not return back before the 22nd of July. And this is the NVB, minimum stay condition. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
And the next one is again, the next line is suggesting you that travel from the last stopover must no commence later than the 12 months. That means the passenger should return before the 18th of July 2026. I mentioned the return maximum stay condition as 18th of July. Clear? Is that clear? Next, now we are going to start with the baggage allowance. And again, let's come to the mail and show us, let's see how much is the baggage allowed for this fare? 1 piece. So now let's add the 1 piece baggage in the PNR, that is in the TST. So TTI slash T1 slash. Now, the one piece baggage is allowed for throughout the journey. Yes or no? So now, do I need to mention the line numbers here? Yes or no? Not necessary, because this is applicable for throughout the journey. If there is one piece for the outbound, two piece for the inbound, then we will need to mention. But it's a throughout journey, so automatically gets picked up for the all the journey. Now, what is the keyword that we use to add the baggage? A. So let's mention A. Now here there is a very one conditions to be remember everybody. Now what is that condition? That the there are two concepts of the baggage. The number one is the weight concept, and the number two is the piece concept. Yes or no? So if it is a piece concept, so we will type the word 1PC. Okay, is that clear? So for my scenario, this fare is allowed with one piece baggage. Let's add it. Now you will see the one piece baggage is added for throughout the journey. Clear? Yes or no? Now, similarly, if the journey is allowed with 30 kg baggage or a 40 kg baggage or a 20 kg baggage, so you simply type the value as 20, 30 or 40 followed with the K. Then here do not type G here, kg. Only type 20K. This will automatically gets updated as 20 kg for the throughout the journey. Is that clear with everyone? Okay. Clear? Is that clear? Yes or no? Please type in the chat. Now, we are going to start cover the no stopover request also. So now tell me, in the PNR, remember on the day one I talked about the indicator before the city code, there is an O mentioned. What does this O stands? O stands as a stopover. Absolutely correct. Now tell me, is the Frankfurt a stopover or a no stopover? Is the Frankfurt a stopover or a no stopover? So Abdul said yes, stop. So the passenger is going to stop at Frankfurt or passenger is going to stop at John F. Kennedy? Abdul, do you all of you know the concept of a stopover? If not, please type in the chat no, so that I can make you understand about the stopover and no stopover. Please type in the chat. All right. So now remember one thing. Any flight which is stopping at one destination, which is stopping at one destination more than 24 hours, more than 24 hours, that will called as a stopover. If it is less than 24 hours, this is treated as no stopover. Now answer my question. Is the Frankfurt a stopover? Is the Frankfurt flight stopping at Frankfurt more than 24 hours? If you wanted to display in this, here, let me display the PNR. Now tell me, is at the Frankfurt airport. Passenger is stopping at more than 24 hours. Look at the flight departing time. 8:30, arriving 10:55. Absolutely correct. So this will be treated as a no stopover. So if I wanted to make any stopover, I need to make the Frankfurt as no stopover. How will I make the Frankfurt as a no stopover with the help of a command? Here is the command given. So if I wanted to make any stop as a no stopover, we will simply type the command followed by the line number, and the X will be treated as a TTK, TTI slash T1 slash. Now, the line number 2 and the line number 4 will be treated as a no stopover. So I will type the command L2. That means line number 2 is a no stopover slash line number 4 is as a no stopover. Yes or no? The same command I have mentioned here. Okay, is that clear? So now you can do it one by one, or you can do it in a one go. So it depends on you how you wanted to do. So if you wanted to do it in a one go, you can simply type this command and you will be able to do. Now you will see the Frankfurt is treated as no stopover. If you wanted to do it one by one, then you simply remove this line. First of all, make the line number 2 as a no stopover, then make line number 4 as a no stopover. Okay, is that clear? Is that clear with everyone? Now, anyone have any question? Please feel free to ask me. So connecting city is not on stopover. We'll just show it as an X. So that we have done. Clear? Now let's go and start adding the base fare amount. Now, where do you find out the base fare? Tell me. The base fare is written as in the fare rules. So let's go and open the email which is received from the airline. Yes or no? Now, where do you see the base fare value written? Can anyone tell me? Where do you see the base fare value written? So someone said 33973 is all right. So now here you need to understand the concept of the base fare. So that we have already discussed yesterday, that the base fare will always be given in the fare linear as a nukes. With the help of the nukes, we need to convert the value and add as a rounded figure, correct? So here, the airline has given me a fare for the outbound journey as Delhi to New York with how much nukes? 143.30. New York to Delhi as 196.43. Yes or no? And the total NUC is 339.73 as a round trip journey. Now we need to convert that NUC in the Indian currency, because my point of sale is India. So we need to get and convert the NUC with the Indian currency. Is that clear? Yes, no? So let's go and open in a new command page and type the command FQC followed by the total NUC, which is 33973 NUC slash INR. Now, how much is the base fare amount? Rounded as a fare 28775. Is that clear? So let's come to the point and we'll start with the command TTI slash T1 slash. Now let's go and see the command to add the base fare. TTI slash T1, and then we will add the base fare indicator. Now what is the base fare indicator that we use for the published fare? F. And then the currency code, because the fare, base fare is going to show as an Indian rupees. So I'll type the amount, I'll type the currency code and paste the value. Is that clear? Done. Now we need to update the taxes part one by one. Okay, because added we converted the nukes into the base fare value. Now we need to add the taxes value one by one. Okay, now how do we add the taxes one by one? Here is the command given. Now to add the taxes one by one, you simply have to put a slash and use the indicator for the tax. Now what is the tax indicator? If you have remember, I have shown you what is the tax indicator X and the base fare indicator F. So let's go and add the tax indicator followed by the simple value. So let me copy this YQ here, paste it. Again, put an X and copy the entire taxes values one by one. Getting my point? How am I doing this? Yes, no? So these are the taxes applicable and given by the airline. So you have to simply copy these taxes and add the and paste in the command prompt. Now remember one thing, that the after the X word, that the X indicator, add the tax value followed by the only two-letter tax code. So this is a GST tax, this is an IN tax, here is the YR tax, this is a YQ tax. Yes or no? Is that clear? Now slash, let me add the other taxes one by one. X and this value slash X, and let me add this value slash X, and let me add this value slash X, and let me add this value slash X, US slash X slash X, and the last one. Okay, Saurav, your question is that don't we need to convert the taxes to the INR with the nukes? Okay, now and always understand the taxes are always given as per the local country's currencies. Okay, so the only base fare, because the base fare is the airline fare, okay, and that is given in the nukes, and then we need to convert the nukes into the Indian rupees or in the local currency. Is that clear? So we don't need to convert the taxes in the nukes. So understood? I added all the taxes values one by one with the part slash. Yes or no? Anything that I'm missing here? Okay, so no, it is not mandatory, Devendra, that you always have to add the same two-letter tax code again and again. These YQ is given by the airline two times. So if airline is providing me the YQ tax two times, so we will have to add this one. And the next thing that we do not need to add the total value. The system is already capable to do and to add the total of the taxes value and the base fare. Now, if I simply press enter, you will be able to see the base fare amount followed by the taxes value and the total grand total. Did you see the Devendra? Now, Devendra, did you see this part? Yes or no? All right. Rest of the people understood how do we add the base fare and the taxes value? Anyone have any question? Please feel free to ask me. Asita, I have simply pasted the taxes value one by one, and before the taxes value, I simply add a X because X is the indicator that shows taxes to be paid. And I have already shown you in the notes that how do we show the taxes value in the PNR with the help in the TST with the help of a X1. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, of course, Saurav, that will depend on the government and the different countries have a different taxes codes. So it depends on that part. So the airline will provide you those taxes as per the country. All right. Now we are going to talk about the next step and the last mandatory element to be added. And what is the last mandatory element? Tell me. Fare construction linear. And how do we add the fare construction linear? That I'm going to give you the reply. So there are generally two ways that you will create the fare linear. Number one, you can create or you can build a blank fare linear automatically. And once you create a blank fare linear, then you can add the values in the fare linear. Otherwise, you can create the fare linear through manually also. So first of all, I will show you how to create a blank fare linear automatically. Okay. And what is the command given you to add the blank fare linear? The command is tti slash t1 slash c. Now, why do we need to add a c? Can you tell me? Because c is the keyword that will understand the system that, okay, you are going to add a fare linear. Now, if you are going to build the fare linear automatically, then you type this word build. This will build the fare linear. Let me press enter. and the fair linear will be built as a blank. Now, do you see? Everything is showing as a zero. Yes or no? So now the fair linear is built with the command tti/t1/c build. Now, what is the next thing that we need to do? Once we have created this fair linear, and once we have built the fair linear, we will type the command again, tti/t1/c, and I will simply copy the entire blank fair linear and paste it here. Now you might ask me a question, why do we need to paste it here again? Because you have added the fair linear. Because the fair linear, the command C build, has created a blank fair linear. Nothing is mentioned as a fair value. So we need to add the fair values also. Yes or no? Tell me. And that is why we are going to copy paste and going to add the values. Now, how do we need to add the values? Remember one thing very importantly, and that I have mentioned here specifically. Look at this part. Number one, if you are going to add and if you are going to insert the fair linear, keep the space between city and the airlines. So this is a city, there is a airline name. So do you see? There is a space. So this is always to be done. Number one. Number two, there should be no space between alphabets and the number. So if you notice, there is an alphabet and there is a number, there is no space. Is that clear? Number three, always use the city code, not the airport codes. So that is why here you will see the NYC. However, the airport code is JFK, but we have used the NYC here in the fair linear. So while updating the fair linear, always use the city codes, not the airport codes, because there are so many cities which has multiple airport codes. But always use the city codes, not the airport codes. Is that clear? And the last thing is the NUC will always show in two decimals, not in a single decimal. Always show in a two decimal. Either it is will be 0.02, point 0.00. They always show as in two decimal, not a single decimal. Is that clear? Yes or no? Now need to add the fair linear values. Now from where do I find out the fair linear value? Remember, here is the NUC value, and the same NUC value is to be added in the fair linear. So let me add the fair linear value here in the fair linear. For my outbound journey that I have mentioned, Delhi to New York, how much is the fare in Nukes? 143.30. So here, Delhi to NYC, the fare is 143.30. I added, yes or no? Now, from NYC uh, to Delhi, how much is the fare? 196.43. So let me paste here. Clear? And always remember, there should be no space between alphabets and the digit. So that's why I'm not going to give a space here. And then I need to copy paste the total NUC.
which is 339.73. Done? And here is the end of the fair linear. Now, after doing the end of the fair linear, you need to mention the ROE, the IATA rate of exchange. From where do I get the IATA rate of exchange? Remember, we have already converted the NUC into the INR, and here you will get the IATA rate of exchange, or you can say the banker's selling rate. So here is the banker's selling rate, 84.695115. No, no, Devendra, no, I need to write the two decimals. For the rate of exchange, always mention and always enter the entire value. Okay, so type the entire value. Do not leave a single value for the rate of exchange, for the IATA rate of exchange. Now, if you wanted to get it checked, the IATA rate of exchange, there is a command also. With the help of this command, you will get the answer. There is a command, FQA India. And there you will get the IATA rate of exchange. Okay. So the same answer will be there, but I just give you the way you can find out. How do you find out the IATA rate of exchange? Is that clear? Now press enter. This is how you will get updated the fair linear. Is that clear? How do you update the fair linear? What are the steps to be mandatorily checked while updating the fair linear? Yes or no? One more thing, very importantly, if you miss or if you enter any incorrect details in the fair linear, it will always give you an error. You need to verify why is the error coming up. For an example, let me show you one example. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a space between NYC and this one and trying to enter. Uh, it is inserted, but uh, this is my training system and that's why it is updated here. But remember one thing, do not, if you are in the live mode, it will not create a problem, but it will not allow you to insert. So you need to follow the steps very specifically. That keep the space between city and the airlines, no space between alphabet and the numbers. Always use the city codes, and NUC should be in the two decimals. Is that clear?
Naveen, your screen seems to be paused. We can see FQA India unless you're showing something else.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
now we can see it. I think you will have to redo this command because they did not see.
Okay. So here, if you try to enter incorrect values, let me add an incorrect value here. I changed the value from the NUC provided by the airline and trying to enter. It gives me a warning message. What is the warning message? That the total calculation of the fair linear is incorrect or invalid. Okay. Yes, no. Is that clear? So always be very specific while entering the, and always be very cautious while updating the fair linear value. So I have updated it correctly. That's why the system accept the command. Otherwise, if you added anything incorrect, the system will not accept. Is that clear with everyone? Okay. Now moving towards the next line. And the next line is very, very important. So everybody, please focus on here. Now, in the TST, do you see there is a XF tax mentioned? Do you see the XF tax is mentioned? Yes or no? And remember, I talked to you about and we said that every taxes code is applicable based on the country. Okay. So the XF tax, which is added in the TST, in the TST as in tax. So this is a tax taken for the departure from the US airport. So there is a US airport involved, which is John F. Kennedy. And that is the reason the passenger is who is departing from the US country, the XF tax is added. Okay. And this XF tax is the passenger facility tax or passenger facility tax, which is called as an PFC tax. Okay. And the passenger facility tax uh, is shown in the tax table. So that's why we need to add the PFC tax in the fare linear also. Okay. So this is only applicable for the US airport, and that PFC tax is a XF tax code. How do I check the tax amount for this XF tax? The command to check the PFC tax for the John F. Kennedy Airport is FQZ, PFC, and the JFK. And how much is the amount for this JFK Airport? 4.50. So this is the amount always being charged if a passenger is departing from the US country. Is that clear? And at individual airport. So if you wanted to check for other airport, you need to type the US airport code and you will get the passenger facility tax code, tax value. How much is the tax value? 4.50. Now, if you convert the FQC 4.50 US dollar, because this is a US USD amount, and in the Indian rupees, this will be treated as a Indian rupee as 395. That's why this is given as a amount. Is that clear? Okay. So Saurav, tell me, do you see there is a XF tax added in the TST tax? In the TST, in the tax, you can see there is an XF tax. Yes or no? All right. Now, the XF tax is taken by the airline for the departing you from a US airport. So always a passenger who is departing from the US airport, there will be a XF tax added. And that XF tax is called as a passenger facility tax, PFC tax. Okay. This will be shown in the tax table. If you see, there is a in the tax table it is shown, and this tax is to be also shown in the fare linear as a tax code XF. So here, if you see in the fare linear, there is no XF tax added. So we need to add this XF tax in the fare linear also. And this is only applicable for the US country and any passenger who is departing from the US country. Is that clear? Okay. Now, how do we add the PFC tax here? So first of all, we need to know the amount of PFC except tax, and then we need to add the amount in the fare linear. And how do we get the amount? With the help of the command FQZ, PFC, and the JFK. FQC PFC, sorry, FQZ PFC. So PFC stands Passenger Facilitation Tax, followed by the airport JFK, because the passenger is departing from which airport? JFK airport. So then you will get the amount 4.50. Now you need to add the XF tax in the fare linear. And how will you add the XF tax in the fare linear? With the help of this command. TTI slash T1 slash C plus XF and the airport code followed by the value. Is that clear? Now, this command is an additional command only applicable for the PNR who's departing. The passenger is departing from the US country. Is that clear? Is that clear? And this is how you will add, and now you will see the XF tax is added in the fare linear. Is that clear? Now, similar to the XF tax, there is a ZP tax also taken. Now, the ZP tax is applicable for the US domestic departure. Okay, so any flight which is departing within the US country, then not the XF tax will be applicable, then the ZP tax will be applicable. Okay, and how do you see the ZP tax? So if I'm going to do this FQN 80 FQN tax slash US, you will see there will be a ZP tax. Let me do MD. Now do you see the ZP tax is there? And this is applicable on the flight segment tax domestic flight. Is that clear? Is that clear? All right. Now my PNR is done with many changes. Let's save everything in the PNR. Now, if I open the TST, my TST has been created with the itinerary, base fare and the taxes, followed by the fare linear. Now we need to add the missing elements on the ticketing elements of the PNR so that we can go and do the ticketing. So what is the ticketing elements? Form of payment, commission, validity carrier, and the FE element. So let's add all the elements one by one. FP cash, because now I'm going to issue the tickets as a cash payment, a form of payment cash. Now, after the cash form of payment, let's add the commission. So the airline has given me a 2% commission. Airline has allowed me to take 2% commission. So I added the 2% commission. Done? Now, let me add the validity carrier. So the ticket is valid for which airline? That means the ticket document is going to be issued, or the PNR is issued on which document number? Lufthansa. So I will type the airline code FVLH. So this is called the fare is, or the ticket is going to be issued on which airline's document number? Lufthansa Airlines document number. Clear? And last we will add FE element, like ticket is non-refundable. So this is a message received from the airline. Ticket is non-refundable, and add it. If the airline has not sent any message or over the email, then you can leave the FE element blank, because FE is completely optional. But the FP, FM, and FB is mandatory for the ticketing. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now we need to update the tour code as applicable. Tell me, is it a negotiated fare? We have updated as a published fare. So then we do not need to add a tour code because this is not a tour, a special fare. Save the PNR. And then we do TTP/TKT to pre-validate. The message says okay to ticket. Now we'll do TTP. Now I'm going to show that if I do not do the /RT, what will happen? See, here I simply do TTP. The message received same okay ticket. Now if I do RT, the message says invalid. Now why? Because once we do only the TTP, the PNR get ticketed, but the PNR will be ignored from the background also. And for that, again, you have to type the command RT and copy the PNR from on the top and press enter. Now you'll be able to see the PNR. Is that clear with everyone? Is this clear? Now, if I wanted to see the image e-ticket record, how do I see the e-ticket record? TWD. This is my ticket number. Here is my FCPI indicator, point of issuance, date of issuance, IATA of issuance. All the informations are given here. Here you will see the base fare amount. Here you will see the total taxes. And if I wanted to see the total tax details, that means the tax breakdown, TWD/tax. This will open the tax breakdown. Is that clear? So this is how you will issue and you will do the manual ticket issuance. Now I'm going to paste the steps in the chat box one by one. Please do copy. And then we will do a small break. Post the break, we will start with the voidation topic. Done. I have pasted the steps in the chat box. Okay. So once noted by everyone, then let me know. And then we'll take a break. Noted. All right, now let's take a break. Post the break, we'll start with the voidation topic and then we'll go with the reissuance one. Okay. So let's break till it's as per my laptop, it is 11:45. So break till 11:55. All right. As per my laptop, it is showing 11:45. So break is till 11:55. the session. You can see maximum people have responded yes. All right. Now let's begin our next topic. So everybody please focus here. Pay attention here. Now, if the PNR is ticketed and customer or the passenger calls you for the cancellations. So there are two ways of the cancellation, or you can say there are two distinct information about the cancellations. Now, what are those informations? Now, whenever there will be a cancellation called, so cancellation can be either you can void or either you can go with the penalty. Okay, so here we are going to talk about a void topic. What are the conditions that we are going to do the void, and what is the difference between a void and a cancellation? So number one, the cancellation would be applicable with the penalty, and the cancellation will with applicable penalty will be only done once the ticket is issued in past dated. Okay, so the ticket was issued 3 days before or 4 days before, then we are only going to do the cancellation with the applicable penalty. But there will be another condition that if the ticketing is done today, that means the ticketing is done on the current date of, and you are going to do the cancellation, then that cancellation is called as a void cancellation of a ticket. Is that clear? And this has to be done on the same date till midnight. Okay, so how do you confirm that whether the PNR is ticketed today, and based on that we are going to do the voidation? So let me ask you a question. How do you confirm with the help of this PNR that the ticketing is done today? Where do you see that ticket issuance date? Answer my question. So at line number 10, there is a FA line, absolutely correct. And in the FA line, you will see the ticket issuance date. The next way to identify, open the e-ticket, that means the e-ticket record with the command of TWD, and there you will also see the date of issuance. Is that clear? So today is 24th of June. So now the ticket is issued today, and if the passenger is calling you for the cancellation, then we will go ahead and proceed with the cancellation. Is that clear? Now, there are further more steps involved in the process of voidation. Now, once you check, number one thing, that the ticketing is done on the date of that is today, current date, and we have not crossed the date. That means the date has not been changed yet. We can proceed with the voidation. Next step. Once we check this part, we have to check the second thing, whether the airline allow the voidation or not, because this is very, very important to check. There are few airlines who do not allow you to do the voidation. And how do you check the airline is allowed to void the ticket or not? And the command will be, let me open a new command page, HEETT. Remember, I showed you one yesterday, how to find out the electronic ticketing guidelines for any specific airline. So I wanted to see the help on the electronic ticketing guidelines for Lufthansa Airlines, because I have to go and do the Lufthansa Airlines voidation. So here I open this Yes or no? Now it gives me the Lufthansa Airlines e-ticket policy based on the market. Now we are living in India market. So here you see this INMAN country code. So we'll open this reference page number MS64. There I'll be able to see the e-ticketing eligibility and the rules for the following market. And wherever it is showing Y, this is supported, and wherever this is showing N, this is not supported. Okay, so here you will see a lot of information about the airlines supporting and not supporting. We are going to do one more page down, and there you will see whether the void is supported by the airline or not. Is it supported? Yes or no? Is it supported? Okay, so yes, this is supported. Now we are ready for the voidations because both the conditions are met. Yes or no? Okay. Let me go and show you the another example. And that example is here. Do you see this PNR? Yes, no? Is the PNR ticketed? Now, if I have to void the ticket, so is it possible to void the ticket? Abdul said yes. Why? Because the ticket was issued yesterday. So Nishani said yes. Nishani, tell me how. How can you void the ticket because the ticket was issued yesterday? So remember I taught you about that the voidation can be done on the same date of the ticket issuance till midnight 11:59. Is that clear, Nishani? All right. So now I'm going to do a voidation. So let me retrieve the PNR. And I am going to do a process of avoidations. So both the conditions are met. So now let's go and void the PNR. But remember one thing that you have to charge a voidation fee because airline will charge you some voidation fee. And for the voidation charge, check with the airline. There are some airlines who do not charge the voidation fee. Some airlines charge the voidation fee. How much is the charge? Always check with an airline. Is that clear? Now let's go and focus on how do you void the ticket or how do you void the PNR. So then you simply go and do TRDC. This is the command which will void with the FA line number. So what is the FA line number? Line number 10. So I'll simply do TRDC slash L and the 10. Now, the moment I do this, I got a message, OK, documents cancelled, which means now my PNR is voided. Now, let's go and verify the e-ticket. If I open the e-ticket record, now you will see in the ticket coupon status, what is the status showing? Voided. So whenever you see that, okay, now my ticket is voided, now don't forget to come to the PNR, cancel the PNR and save it. Because now your PNR is voided. Don't forget to first of all void and then cancel the PNR. Is that clear? Do not cancel the PNR first and then go with the voidation. Okay? Is that clear? Now, if you wanted to void the ticket with a document number, ticket document number, so you can follow with the TRDC/TK and the ticket document number. But in the ticket document number, you only have to enter the 10-digit ticket number, not the entire 13-digit. Is that clear? Now, because there are so many agencies, what they do, they have a backend team. So what they do, they send the ticket number to the backend team to do the voidation. Okay, so then what they do, they simply run the command TRDC/TK and the ticket number. Is that clear? All right. Now I'm going to send you this steps in the chat box. Please do copy for the voidation. How do you void the ticket? Once done by everyone, then let me know. Noted by everyone? Waiting for the response. Noted by everyone? Am I audible to everyone? There are 20 people. Abdul, Abhijit, Akasha, Akshara, Alif, Alfia. All right. Devendra, Joseph, noted. All right. Now let's go and start talking about our next and a new topic. So now we are going to start with the changes in the PNR. That means we are going to talk about reissuance. Okay, so everybody please pay attention, because now from here it is a very important topic for everybody to learn. Okay, everybody please pay attention. Now let's go and start. First of all, understand about the changes to the reservation. So the PNR is ticketed. Tell me, is the PNR ticketed? Yes, no? Now, what is the date of issuance? Ticket date of issuance? Today, 24th of June? All right. Now, the customer called you and requested you to do some changes in the PNR. What is the change? He wanted to prepone his journey. So if he is going on, look at here, he is going on which date from Delhi to Bangkok? 19th of July. Now, he wanted to not go on 19th of July. He wanted to go on 20th of July. So instead of 19th July, he wanted to postpone his journey for his outbound journey. Is that clear? All right. So, what are the steps to be involved in doing any changes in the PNR? Remember one thing. If you're going to do the changes in the PNR, so the changes can be either one of the things. Either you can change the airline, either you can change the travel date, or you can change the class of service as well. Class of service means cabin class. So if you are booked an economy cabin, you can upgrade it to the premium economy or the business cabin. Is that clear? So any kind of changes to be done, and that changes will have certain steps to be followed. Okay, now what are the certain steps? Number one, if there is a changes to the reservation, open the PNR and display the e-ticket and check the e-ticket coupon status. So how do I open the e-ticket record? Absolutely correct. Now, if I wanted to open the e-ticket record, I will do TWD/line number 6. This is how I go open that, and I will check the e-ticket coupon status. And here I have mentioned the coupon status should be O or A. So tell me, is for this example, is my PNR coupon status, that means e-ticket coupon status, is showing O? Yes or no? So this is absolutely correct. Now we need to check the date of travel. So what is the date of travel? All right. So yesterday you have missed Nishani. Remember we talked about the ticket coupon status HETWD, then followed by, let me give you the help page where you will get all the information. Followed by GPET2, GPET2, and followed by MD200. Now, do you see the list of all the status? Nishani? Now, what does this A stands? Now tell me. Nishani? And what does this O stands? Open for use. So if there will be a PNR and you wanted to do some changes in the PNR and changes in the reservation, so first of all, open the e-ticket record, check the e-ticket record coupon status, and it should be O or A. And if it is not O or A, let's take an example. The customer has done a check-in. So customer has done already a web check-in. Now, what will you do? You need to call the airline and ask to change the status. Is that clear? Now, the moment you open this e-ticket record and you saw that there is a E showing in the e-ticket record coupon status. So now it is already exchanged. So you can tell the customer, sir, the PNR has already been exchanged. Is that clear? So this is how you need to read about the different coupon status. Okay, now let's come to the notes. And in the notes, we were discussing about the e-ticket and check the e-ticket coupon status. Now we need to check about the travel, date of travel. That is also checked. This is a future dated travel. Yes or no? 19th July is a future dated travel. If the date of travel is very close to current date, then you need to check that whether the airline is giving a condition that, because there are so many airlines who do like this. If a travel date is within 24 hours, that will be treated as not allowed to be changed. For Air India, if you do the changes within 24 hours, the airline will not allow you to do the changes. This is for an example I'm giving you. Okay? Is that clear? So you need to check it very clear that is the travel date is closer to the current date. So you need to connect with airline and check the rules, that whether the check about the no-show condition, that whether the passenger does not become a no-show. Okay, is that clear? Next step, after checking the e-ticket record and everything is okay, we need to check the change fee, which means the doing any changes in the reservation there will be a change fee applicable. Okay, is that clear? And how do we check the change fee? With the help of two different commands. One is with the help of FQD command and the other is with the FXX command. So first of all, I will show you with the help of FQD command, how will you be able to read the fare conditions. Okay, is that clear? And now let's come to the e-ticket record and let's go and type the command FQD. So this is the first command which we will enter, followed by the origin and destinations. So let me type Delhi to Bangkok. Is that clear? Anyone have any question till this part? Now, after this, you need to put a slash and the airline code. Slash A and the airline code. What is the airline code? TG. So here I need to mention the same TG. Is that clear? Now followed by the C and the class of service. So tell me, which is my class of service? What is the okay? So I'll type the 2 type C. C C. C, this indicates the class of service, and this is the RBD of the PNR. Is that clear? Now again put a slash and then need to mention the date of travel, the date of departure. What is my date of departure? 19th July. Done. Post that, we will do slash R comma date of issuance. Now, why I'm going to do that R comma date of issuance? Because the ticket or the PNR has been already ticketed. So, if I wanted to find out the fare rules, so the fare rules should be find out with the past dated pricing entry. That means what was the date of issuance on that date? What would be the fare rules? Okay, and where do I see the date of issuance? 24th of June. So I need to type 24th June 2025. Don't forget to mention the year, because if you simply type 24th June, so the system will get confused that for which year are you pricing? Are you pricing for the last year 2024? Because it might be possible the ticket was issued in the December month. Yes or no? And the customer is traveling in today. Yes or no? So that's why you need to mention this R comma and the date of issuance followed by the year. Press enter. Now what you need to check, you need to match the fare basis CLRFF. Do you see anywhere CLRFF mentioned at line number 1? Now you need to match the base fare amount 109650. So 109650. Understood? So we are going to we are going to run a fare port notes command so that I can read the penalty for the first fare. Yes or no? So how will I read the penalty for the first fare? Simply type the command FQN, and the same thing I have mentioned, FQN star and the penalty FQN1 star PE. Enter. Now the moment I do this, you will be able to see all the penalties applicable on that particular fare basis, and there is a change fee, and the change is mentioned anytime with no penalty applicable. There is nowhere mentioned as penalty applicable for this fare. If I simply do MD, you will see nothing is mentioned under the fare rules related to the penalty. Nishani, you can do FQN 1-1 star PE. But remember, only in that condition that there are two different fare bases for both the journeys. All right. For my case, my PNR has the same fare basis for both the journeys. Is that clear?
Sorry to interrupt you, Naveen.
Nishani?
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, Naveen.
Yep.
Naveen, I just want to clear one thing. Like in FQD command,
Hmm.
earlier when we are using FQD command,
Hmm.
in at date of travel,
Hmm.
we
We
put
use
D
D.
first and
Hmm.
then 19th of July. But
Hmm.
here it is directly 19th of July. So what is the concept behind it? Like, is it mandatory to put D, or we can continue by giving 19th of July and then R comma date of issuance?
Okay. Now remember, if you wanted to enter, let me do this for you and show you the difference. Now, do you see any difference here?
No,
Okay. Do you see any difference?
no.
So then,
So we
uh,
can use either D or
yes,
directly 19.
that's
Whatever.
absolutely correct. Absolutely
We-
correct. Now,
Thank
why
you.
do we use this D? Because
Mhm.
what happened that we were, if you have learned in the basic session, so there we use D. Now,
Mhm.
D is to show that my departing is on the particular date, and with that D, you will be able to see the exact date of travel is 19th of July. So if you
Yes.
wanted to make it for round trip journey, like D is, let me show you here, 19th of July, and I wanted to find out the fare. What is my return date? Let me show that example, 29 July, correct? So I can
Mhm.
mention this way, 29 July. So this is how you can also get the fare. See, so
Okay.
the D is not that much mandatory. You can use it or you cannot use it. It is up to you. Okay.
Sure.
Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Now let's go and start with the next part. FQN 1 star PE. Now you can do 1-1 also for the first segment and for the second segment. 1-2 and star PE. Now the next thing is that we read that there is no penalty mentioned. Yes or no? Is there any penalty mentioned? Tell me. No penalty mentioned. So now if there is no penalty mentioned, so you can either confirm from the airline that okay, so there, as we read the in the fare rules, there is nowhere mentioned as a penalty amount. So is there any penalty applicable? So they will give you a confirmation also that there is no penalty applicable. But for the double sure shot, please confirm with the airline also. Okay. And while reading the fare rule, if it is clearly mentioned no penalty applicable on the changes, then you don't need to call the airline. Is that clear? Is that clear with everyone? Done. Now we check that there is no change penalty applicable. So that means there is a nil penalty amount. Now we need to add the new segment in the PNR. So let's go and add the new segment. And the new segment will be 20th of July. So let's add 20th of July, Delhi to Bangkok by Airways. Yes, no? Search it. Now the passenger is booked in which class of service? C class of service, CRBD. Now the rule says that you always have to sell the seats or the class of service in the same class of service or higher than that of class of service. Okay, not the lower than that. So the passenger is booked in the C class. If the C class is available, so we'll sell in the C class of the seats, otherwise the higher than that of. We do not sell the seats lower than the particular class of service. And you might ask me a question, sir, if this is the highest class and the seats are not available in that case, you need to change the travel date. Is that clear? So for an example, for my case, if the C class is not available, now then will not sell in the Delta class, then we need to change the travel date. Is that clear? So let me sell the Charlie class seat here. Now let's go and talk about the check-in fare difference and the taxes difference. Okay? And how do we check the new fare? Here is the command. What is the command? We type the command fxx slash and we will show the round trip journey with the new added segment. Tell me which one is now the round trip journey for the passenger. So Nishani said segment number 3 and segment number 4. What about others? Abhijit said segment number 3 and 4. Absolutely correct. One second, guys. Okay. Now, we will mention segment number 3, comma segment number 4. Because my segment number 3 is the new added segment and here is the already booked segment. So now the customer is looking for a round trip journey as segment number 3 and this is the segment. Clear? Enter. Now, the moment I do this, I got this fare, two different fares because the Charlie class has two different fares. Now what to do next? If you get the similar answer reply, now you need to verify in the TST that whether in the TST which fare basis we have booked or we have been booked, and in the same fare basis we need to be booked. So here the fare basis is CLRFF. Yes or no? So the second fare is we are booked. So either we can sell in this fare or either I can sell in the higher fare also. But if the same fare is available, means the same fare basis is available, so we do not need to go on the higher one. So we are going to select the second fare FQQ2. And here I will simply copy and paste in the notepad as a new fare. Done? Is that clear? Anyone have any questions till now? So what I did, I simply run a command fxx and get to see about the fares. Now let's go and talk about old fare. How do I find out the old fare? With the command twd and twd/tax to open the tax details. So let me go and open twd. Let me copy the entire details from here and type old fare. Let me do twd/tax and copy the entire taxes and paste it here. Done? And then we need to compare and calculate the difference. Now let's see. Do you see any difference in the base fare? Because remember, whenever you are going to compare the new fare with the old fare, you need to compare neck to neck. That means the base fare is compared with the base fare and individual taxes will be compared with the individual taxes. Is that clear? So let's get compare. Base fare to base fare. Do you see anywhere in the base fare difference? So let me type here. Penalty nil, base fare nil. Now let's compare the taxes. 17342, 17342. 867 YR, 867 YR. 1363 IN, 15343 K3, 122 P2, 122 P2. 93 E7, 93 E7. Remember? So do you see anywhere a tax difference also? So tax difference is nil. Now let's come to the notes. The next thing is the next thing is once we have compared and calculated the difference and everything, we need to save the PNR if passenger is okay with the changes. So now tell me, if the passenger is if passenger came for to do some changes and there is no penalty applicable, no fare difference, nothing is to be paid extra, so with the customer will definitely get agree, yes or no? Said okay, if everything is nil, so let's go and do the changes. So here I'm going to take the example that now I'm going to save the PNR because my passenger is okay with the changes. Okay, so let me go and do RF. Yeah, now here I got a warning as a segment continuity error because the segment number 2 and the segment number 3 are the same, and there is a warning of a ticketing to be done before 17th of July. So let's override it and let me save it. Done. Is it clear? Till the step number 4, is it clear with everyone? Okay. Now, here either we can do revalidation or reissuance. So which means changes to the reservation or changes to the PNR can be done in two ways. Either you can do the revalidation or you can do a reissuance. Okay. Now we are learning what is revalidations because we are going to do the revalidations. So what is revalidation? Let's learn. Let's learn first of all what is revalidation. Is that clear? So we are not going to focus on reissuance. We are going to focus on revalidation. Now what is revalidation? So if you are going to do revalidate a ticket or revalidate a PNR, the new dates are updated on the same e-ticket number and the ticket number remains same, which means right now you will be able to see the ticket number, this one, and this ticket number is issued for which of the segment number? Tell me. Segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Yes or no? Now, if we have to revalidate the PNR, then the ticket number will be the same and the new dates will be automatically posted segment number 3 and the segment number 4. So here you will see segment number 3 and the segment number 4's date, like 20th of July and 29th of July. Is that clear? If I show you the ticket image, so once the ticket will be revalidated, in place of 19th July, you will see a new travel date, which is 20th of July. Is that clear? All right. Next, now, whenever we are going for a revalidation, we need to check three things. Very importantly, remember that part. Anytime if you are going for a revalidation, you need to check three things. Number one, the base fare difference to be nil. Number two, taxes difference to be nil. And the number three, the airline should permit for the revalidation. Okay. So tell me, for my condition, first two conditions are met. For my example, first two conditions are met. Yes or no? Base fare is nil, taxes is nil. Yes or no? All right. The next example, the next scenario. The next scenario is we need to check about the airline permission, whether it is a revalidation allowed or not. How do we check about revalidation or is allowed or not? We type HEETT. Let's go and type in a new command page, HEETT, and the two-letter airline code. Because for the Thai Airways, we need to check about whether it is allowed or not. Yes or no? And let's go and read about the Indian market. What is the page number to read about the Indian market? MS66. Open it. Here you will see the TG eligibility rules for the e-ticketing. And if I do MD, you will be able to see the revalidation is supported by the airline. Yes or no? Great. So now my third condition is also met. Yes or no? So base fare nil, taxes nil, and the airline is also permitting to do the revalidations. So all the three conditions met. So now we can go for the revalidation. Is that clear? And to do the revalidation, what are the steps to be involved? Now we have already saved the PNR because passenger is okay with the changes. Now we need to remove the segment, old segment. So tell me which one is the old segment? Old segment means unwanted segment. Now the customer do not want you to travel. The customer do not want segment number 2. So let's cancel this XE2. Cancel. Now next step, save the PNR again. Let's do this. Now we need to perform the revalidation command. Now, what is the command for the revalidation? Either it is a revalidation, reissuance, or issuance. The command always will be TTP. Is that clear? For ticket issuance, reissuance, revalidation, the command will always will be TTP. Is that clear with everyone? Now, slash. The next command is etrv. Now see, I have mentioned etrv. Now what is the meaning of etrv? The meaning is you are going to do electronic ticket to be revalidated. Is that clear? So what I'm going to do with that TTP command, I'm not going to issue the PNR. I am going to do the electronic ticket revalidated. Is that clear? Now, again, slash. I need to mention the ticket line number or the FA line number. So as per my scenario, what is my e-ticket line number? L8 to be mentioned. Absolutely correct. So now this line means that I am going to do the revalidation For which ticket line number? Line number 8. Now there are two more things to be done. Number 2 is to mention the segment and the coupon number. So let's, yes, FA line. Now let me retrieve the PNR here and let me ask you a question here. Now, for which one is the segment that we are revalidating? Tell me, which segment is being revalidated? Segment number 2, segment number 3, or 4? Which one? Segment number 2. So that's why we type S2 here. Is that clear? Now let me open the coupon e-ticket record. Now tell me how many coupon numbers are given. This is coupon number 1, coupon number 2. Yes or no? So which coupon number is going to be revalidated? The coupon number 1 or the coupon number 2? So I will mention E1. And the same thing I have mentioned here. S stands as a segment number. E stands as an electronic ticket coupon number. Is that clear? All right. Let me remove this screen division and I'm going to simply perform this command. Now you will see one thing. The message says OK processed and the PNR is reflecting. Now I need to simply do RT, copy the PNR and then paste it, and you will see the ticket number will be same followed by the segment numbers 2 and 3. Now this ticket number is updated for the both the segments 20th and the 29th. Now if I open the e-ticket record, there you will also see the 20th of July and 29th of July. Is that clear? Now let's take an example here. Now my ticket is revalidated, yes or no? And after 2 days, you got the same PNR on your screen, and the customer is again asking me you to change the travel. How do you confirm that whether the PNR is being revalidated or whether the PNR has done some changes in the PNR? So always remember, whenever you open the e-ticket record, the e-ticket record will always show you the updated e-ticket record. But if you wanted to see the history of the this e-ticket record, you will type a command TWH. And the moment you do TWH, here you will see the ticket history display. And the ticket history display will show that there is a new date always added on the screen top of the this display, and just under it there is a old date which shows as a change. So which has been changed? The 19th of July has been changed to which date? 20th of July. So this is how you will get it confirmed that okay, the ticket is revalidated. Is that clear? And this is how Delhi to Bangkok 20th of July, Bangkok to Delhi 29th of July. Clear? And this is my, here is my previous date of journey, and this date is changed to 20th of July. Is that clear with everyone? Yes, no? But when I use TW8, it shows system unable to process. For in your system, it is telling. So is the ticket issued? Okay, if it is not performing, so please check with your account, Amadeus help desk. Share the screenshot and the error. They will let you know why this is not happening. Is that clear? So is the steps of the revalidation clear? Is there any alternative command? No, there is no alternative command. TWH is the command to see the ticket e-ticket image history. I have pasted all the steps of the revalidation in the chat box. Quickly copy so that we can start with the another scenario. Copied by everyone. All right. Now we are going to start with our next topic. And the next topic is there is a PNR. Again, we are going to do the same scenario where the customer is asking for changes. So this is a PNR for which airline? Qatar Airlines, Delhi Doha, Doha Delhi. For 11th of July, 22nd of July. Is that clear? Now, again, the customer came here to do the changes in the PNR. So what is the step number one? Always you do. The step is to display the ticket, e-ticket e-ticket record, check the coupon status, check the travel date. So let's go and open the e-ticket record. TWD, open it. Done. The coupon status is showing open. Yes. This is a future dated travel. Now we need to check for the penalty. And let's go and talk about the penalty part. How do I check about the penalty? So in the previous example, I used the FQD entry. Now with this example, we are going to do the FXX entry for the past dated pricing. And with the help of past dated entry of FXX command, I'll able to see the fare, and from there I will be able to get the penalty part. So let's do this command. FXX slash the segment number 2, segment number 3 slash R comma and the date of issuance. So tell me, what is my ticket issuance date? 24th of June 2025. Don't forget to type the year. Don't only type FQN 24th June. Is that clear? Let's enter. Done. Here I got the fare. So this is my old fare. Now what I will do, I will simply go and run FQN 1 star PE to read about the penalty. And here I'll be able to see the first page, cancellation penalty. Let's go MD and let's go and read about the change penalty. Now tell me, how much is the change penalty applicable? Okay. But there is one more line, absolutely correct. Very nice noted, Abdul. There is one more line mentioned as a note, and that note is mentioned one change free of cost. That means if you go and change one of the time, first time, there is a free of cost changing. Yes or no? So let's go and open this RT and let me see, is it my first time change? How will I confirm is it my first time change? Open the e-ticket record. See, there is the indicator is showing F. If I do the TWH, here you will see the coupon status. There is no history generated. So that means I'm going to do a first time change. So which simply means my penalty is nil. So let me remove everything from here and I am going to start with the next step, which is to sell the seats. So let's add the sell the seats. This time I am going to sell the seats for the return journey. Previous example, I sell the seats for the outbound journey. I'm going to do that for return journey. AN 25th July, Doha to Delhi in Qatar Airways. Done. Now, the passenger is booked in which class of service? My class. So do you see the my class is available for the first flight number? Here is the my class. So let me sell one seat from the my class. Done. And then again, we will go for the checking of the fare difference. How do we find out the new fare? FXX entry. How do we get the old fare? This is the entry, and then we'll compare and calculate the difference. So let's go and do the steps one by one. Now tell me the complete command, how to find out the new fare. Look at the help here. Like I'm going to paste the command. Now tell me what I should type to get the new fare. Nishani, please give me the full command. What segment numbers I should type? So Abdul said segment number 2 and segment number 4. What about others? Type the entire command. Abdul, not segment 3 and 4. Segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Absolutely correct. So I'll type the segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Now, how this is segment number 2 and 4? This is my outbound journey. I am only changing my return journey and I added a return journey as 25th of July. So this becomes 4th. Yes, Devendra, no matter you are changing outbound and the inbound, since it's a round trip journey fare, and whenever you are changing in the outbound and inbound, always price as a round trip. You will not go and price a one-way journey. Is that clear, Devendra? Because my PNR is created as a round trip journey. So that's why I'm changing no matter only the return journey. And as a matter, now my passenger will be traveling as a round trip for the segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Is that clear? So that's why I typed here FXX segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Enter. And this will give me a new fare. So let me copy this and paste in the notepad as new fare. Done? Now let's go and check about the old fare. How do I check the old fare? Quickly going to do TWD, open the old fare, e-ticket record, and copy the entire part from here, paste in the notepad as old fare. Now there is nowhere mentioned the tax breakdown. So we'll type TWD/tax to get the tax breakdown and copy all the taxes. Now, why I am copying the taxes also? Because to compare the fare difference, we always compare from base fare to base fare, and each of the taxes will be compared with one by one. Now, let's go and compare it. See, do you see is there any tax base fare difference? Yes, no? So, the penalty is nil, base fare is nil. Now let's go and compare about the taxes part. So if you compare YQ and here there is a YQ. So do you see the YQ difference? Same. Do you see the YR difference? Do you see the IN tax difference? Tell me, do you see the K3 tax difference? So if you compare one by one each of the taxes, there is nil tax difference also. So tax difference is nil. Done? Yes or no? So there is no difference in base fare and taxes. There is no penalty applicable. Now let's come to the PNR. And let me show you the further steps. The next step is save the PNR if passenger is okay with the changes. Correct? So if the passenger, definitely the passenger will be okay because there is no penalty applicable, no fare difference, no tax difference. So quickly going to save the PNR. Again, this time it will ask me the segment continuity error. No problem. Override the warning. Now back to the saving step. After the saving steps command, let's go and talk about the next important information. Now remember, in the previous example, we did the same thing. What happened? We get the base fare difference nil, tax difference nil. Yes or no? Now we need to check whether the airline permits the revalidation or not. If the airline permits the revalidation, we will go for the revalidation. Otherwise, if airline do not permits the revalidation, then we will go for the reissuance. So let's go and check about the airline. And I will type on a new command page, HEETTQR. And we will open the India market. Here is the India. So I will type MS22 and then I will show you here whether it is revalidation allowed by the airline, whether it is supported by the airline. Tell me, is it supported? That is why I have mentioned that if the airline do not allow you to do the revalidation, then what should we do? Then we will go for the reissuance. And what is reissuance? Reissuance will create a new ticket document number. That will create a new ticket document number. That means a new ticket number will be generated. And the new ticket number will be issued for the changes in the PNR to the date, time, flight, class, or any of the things. Okay? Is that clear? And the reissuance can be done as per the fair rules with nil ADC or with ADC. Nil ADC means no applicable penalty, no additional collection. ADC means with additional collections. So now if I show you the notepad, is there any additional collection for the to be applicable? For this scenario becomes nil ADC reissuance. And that is why I have mentioned on the topic header reissuance with nil ADC. Is that clear with everyone? Okay. So now we already have saved the PNR because passenger is okay with the changes. Now we need to start updating the TST. Now you might ask me a question. So in the reissuance, why do we need to update the TST? Because in the revalidation, we have not updated the TST. Yes or no? So why do we need to update the TST in the reissuance? Because there, um, as per the as per the rule, if the airline is allowing you to do the reissuance, so the TST should be updated as reissued. Then the next time you will see the PNR and you get to know that the PNR is reissued. Okay, and that is why we need to update the TST. Okay, because we need to show the updated and the new travel date. Is that clear in the TST? But for the revalidation, it is not mandatory to update. Is that clear? So let's go and update the TST. How do we update the TST? How do you update with the TST? With the help of command TTU. Remember, if I open the TQT, now you will see the travel date was showing me 11th of July, 22nd of July. Clear? But now my new travel date will be 11th of July and 25th of July. So the segment number 2 and the segment number 4 will be the new travel date as per the TST. How will I update the TST? With the command TTU slash segment number 2 comma segment number 4. Is that clear? Is that clear? So that is why I type the command TTU slash segment number 2 and the segment number 4. Let's do this command and a message received update. Okay, let me open TQT. Now you will see my TST date, that means my travel date is updated with 11th of July and 25th of July. Now the next step. After updating the TST, cancel the unwanted segment and save the PNR. So let me go and cancel the unwanted segment. So which one is unwanted segment? 2, 3 or 4? And how will I cancel it? XE3 is my unwanted segment. Cancel it and quickly save this. Done? Now what is the next step? Next step is to remove the TST flag. Now what is TST flag? Let me open a PNR. Let me open the TST. And in the TST, beside the TST number, there will be a PC flag generated. Now, for my scenario, is the PC flag mentioned here? No. So then we do not need to type this command TTF slash all. But if the PC flag is showing you here, beside the TST number, then don't forget to run this command TTF all. And if you do not do this step, then at the time of issuance, you will see an error message. Itinerary name change, verify TST. I will show this error also in the next example. All right. So just only remember one thing, that if you see there is a PC flag generated beside the TST number, then you should type this command TTF slash all. Otherwise, if it is not showing, no need to perform this command. Is that clear? So for my scenario, there is no PC flag generated, so I'll not perform that command. Now I'll come to the step number 9. And that step number 9 is to perform the command are related to updating the TST. Okay? And we need to update all the missing information of the TST. So tell me, what is missing in the TST itinerary element? Tell me what is missing? The fare basis is missing, the validity dates are missing, followed by the baggage is missing. Is that clear? So let's add the elements missing in the itinerary. And remember, I talked you in the at the time of manual TST creation that if the blank TST is there, we will perform the command TTI. No TTC needs to be done here, Devendra. TTC will create a blank TST. But I talked about that once the TST is created, and if I have to add the values in the blank TST, then we'll perform the TTI command. But here we need to update the TST only, then we do not perform TTI. Then we will perform TTK. Is that clear? So TTI is only used once you are inserting the values in the blank TST. But this TST is not blank. This TST has the values. You only have to update those missing values. So then to update those missing values, always use the command TTK. Is that clear? So if I have to update the missing values, I'll simply type TTK slash the TST number and the TST number 1 slash. Now I need to update the fare basis. And where do I see the fare basis? Tell me. The fare basis will be seen in the here. So let me copy the fare basis. And what is the keyword that I use to update the fare basis? Quickly tell me in the chat. Devendra, absolutely incorrect answer. Tell me what is the keyword? Nishani, no. Now all of you are correct. Devendra, Abhijit, no FB. Only the B element to be used. This is the keyword which will show that you are going to update or you are going to insert the fare basis. Is that clear? And the fare basis and the rest of the elements will be copied from the new fare. So here I have already get the new fare and I'm going to copy paste from the new fare. Now the fare basis is done. Now let's go and talk about the not valid before line. That means that I'm going to insert and update the values with the this one. So first of all, let me update the fare basis. So the fare basis is updated. Yes or no? Tell me. All right. Now I need to update the validity dates. And how will I update the validity dates? TTK slash T1. Now I need to update the validity dates only for the line number 2, not for the line number 1. So how will I update the fare validity dates for the line number 2 only? Then I will type L2 slash, what is the keyword that I will use to update the validity dates? Everybody please type in the chat. V, and I have already copied the validity dates from the new fair, which is 11th of July. Done? Yes or no? But do you see the NVA, which is not valid after, is mentioned here? Do you see this one? Yes or no? Okay. So how do I update the not valid after? So if you wanted to leave the not valid after as a blank, you will simply put XX, which means I don't want it to add the not valid after as because as the fare has not been providing me the not valid after. Let's enter it. This message comes here that check date. So you must have to add the not valid after for the TST. And always remember, if you have to update, if you do not see the not valid after mentioned here as in the new fare, in that condition, you can do two things. Number one, you can go and type the FQD command, and then you will get the not valid after one. Okay, or you can enter the last departing date as a not valid after, because the fare will be valid for a 1 year. So from the last departure, the fare will be valid. So I'll copy the same, and then I will mention here enter. Now you will see the validity dates gets added. Is that clear? No, Abdul, no need to mention that one year. Only mention the date and the month. So this is how you will update the validity dates. Now let's go and update the baggage allowance. Simple TTK slash T1 slash. Now I wanted to only update the baggage allowance for line number 2. So I'll type L2 slash. What keyword I will use to update the baggage allowance? Absolutely correct. A. And then I will simply copy this 30. Now let me ask you a question. What should I type here? Should I type PC here? And then I will the baggage allowed? Absolutely correct. I will type K because this is a KG concept baggage is allowed. So that's why I'll type only the K, and this is how the baggage is updated. Is that clear? Is that clear? So now I have already performed the command to update the missing elements of the TST. Is that clear? Now here are so many commands given, like if you wanted to update the same fare basis for all the segments, you type this one. If you wanted to make the PNR as no stopover indicator or a stopover indicator, here is the command. For individual line numbers for the different fare basis, different line numbers have different fare basis. This is how you will update. And this is how you will update for the validity dates. And this is how you'll update for the baggage allowance as well. Is that clear? So these are the different commands which you can use it. Now, once I updated the TST missing elements, now we need to go and set up my TST as on reissue stage, because whenever someone open the TST, that shows that okay, this is a first time issued PNR, because the TST is not mentioned as a reissue. How do you set up the TST on a reissue? This will be done with the command TTK exchange. So how will you do this TTP set up the TST on a reissue? Is it possible to change the baggage type? No, Saurav, it is not possible. Because how is that possible that outbound has in showing on KG and the return has in showing in piece concept? But if it is showing, then you can update in that possible way as well. Okay, depends on the airline fare. If airline is providing you that type of fare, you can update it. Is that clear? So how will I set up? Now, please everybody pay attention here. That is very much important. How will I set up the TST for the reissuance? And the command to set up the TST for the reissuance is TTK slash exchange. Let's do this TTK slash exchange. Now, what will happen with the TTK slash exchange? The moment I do TTK slash exchange, the TST will be changed to a different values. Now see that what exactly is going to change here. One second. I will show you that further steps. 1 minute. Um, okay. Now, all of you will see the difference here. Let me divide the screen and I'm going to open the TQT first of all. Here, my TST is updated with the missing elements. Yes, no? Now, let me do the command ttk slash exchange here. Now, all of you will tell what all changes do you see in the TST once I perform my TST on a reissue. Once I change the TST on a reissue. What all changes? My base fare changed from F to R. Yes or no? All the taxes which are paid to be changed as O. That means it has old. That has been changed to O. Now my total which was showing you 0, earlier it was showing this 1,02,550 586 rupees. So now did you see the changes? The base fare changes from F to R. Taxes change, indicator change from X to O. The grand total change from 0. And one more thing. Earlier my form of payment was cash. Now the form of payment is showing old as cash. Is that clear? Now the same thing I have mentioned here. The moment you perform TTK exchange command, base fare indicator change from F to R, taxes indicator changes from X to O, the grand total which is base fare plus taxes and the total ADC will change, and the form of payment is also going to change from old form of payment to old form of payment from and the new form of payment. Is that clear? Is that clear? Okay. So now we are going to talk about the next step. Now we are done with the TTK exchange command. Now we know that there is nil base fare, nil taxes difference. That's why everything is showing here 0. Okay. And if here I have already mentioned one more line that we need after the set up the TST on for a reissue stage. Now we need to go and perform the command add the original ticket number for the reissuance. And how do we add the original ticket number for the reissuance? The command will be FO star line number 6. Now, why I am going to add the original ticket number for the reissuance? Because as per the reissuance, the FO element should be present for the reissuance. Otherwise, it will not be allowed to reissue. And how do we associate and how do we add the original ticket for the reissuance? With the command FO star line number. And which line number? The FA line number. Is that clear? And this FA line number is associated with which passenger number? Can anyone tell me? With the passenger number 1. So always use the FA line to be associated with the passenger number. So whatever the FA line number is going to be used as an FO, you always mention that passenger number. That means if you are going to add the FO line number and you are going to take the FA line number, that FA line is to be associated with the passenger number, always. This is how you will type. The moment you type, you will get a long command. You have to simply do not change anything, press enter. Done. And this is how you will see a FO line gets added in the PNR. Is that clear? Is that clear? Now we need to do one more thing, and that is we need to go with the step number 12 for nil ADC or only penalty. We change the FM 0. So tell me, is my FM showing 2%? Then P2, P1, P2, P3. Here I have already mentioned the command. The for the further passenger type, you can add the P1, P2. Okay. All right. Now let's focus on the next step. Now we need to go in the next step number 12, which is that you have to update the commission. And how will you update the commission? What are the conditions for updating the commission? Now, if the commission, if there is nil ADC or if there is an only penalty to be charged by for the customer, the commission should be always 0. So tell me, in my condition, there is penalty nil. So should I change the commission as 0 or should I leave the commission as 2%? Always remember, if there is nil, we will have to change the commission 0. And if there will be any applicable fair difference, then we always is that clear? So for my scenario, tell me, do I need to cancel this
Uh,
FM element and
Sorry to interrupt,
update?
Naveen.
Yes,
Sorry to interrupt, Naveen. I just want to know that the condition which you mentioned, that in this condition there is no penalty and no fair difference, right? So we are supposed to mention commission two or supposed to mention commission zero.
voice is not coming.
Just want to know, sir. In our condition, there is no penalty charge along with there is no fair
So
difference.
here, what exactly happened?
Naveen, hello.
Mhm. Yes.
Saurabh is trying to say something. Saurabh,
I'm
yes,
listening.
please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, just want to know, Naveen, like in this condition, there is no penalty charges along with no fair difference, right? So in this case,
Correct.
we are supposed to mention the commission as 0 or 2%.
Zero,
No,
sir.
we need to zero. That's the reason I have mentioned here.
Okay.
See, for nil ADC or if there is only penalty applicable, always mention the commission 0. If the commission is 0, then you don't need to change. But if there is a commission applicable, then you have to cancel this XE line number 9 and then you add a commission FM0. Clear? Is it clear, Saurav?
Yes, it's clear
And
now.
then save the PNR. And then once we are done with the saving and once we are done with the steps, we can go ahead and simply do TTP/TKT, TTP/TKT, and let's check whether my PNR is valid, going ready for the revalidation or not. Now, what is the error coming up? We need to always add the NVA. And now if you look at, and that is the reason I did not added the NVA here. So always remember, for reissuance, NVA is mandatory. NVB is not mandatory, but NVA is always mandatory for reissuance. And for that, we need to update the NVA for the line number 1. How will I update the NVA for line number 1? TTK/T1 /L1/V 11th July, 11th July. So I am taking the origin travel date as the NVA. That means fare is valid for the next year, 11th July. This is how I updated. Save the changes and then perform TTP/TKT. This is how you will see a message OK to ticket and then perform TTP/RT. This will simply reissue the tickets. Done. Let me just go and open the PNR. Here you will see FA line is added for the segment number 2 and 3. And how much is the charge added here? This is a nil charge. That's why it is showing INR 0. Date is showing office ID and the IATA number. And if I open the e-ticket record also, where you can see the ticket number followed by the ticket is reissued with the base fare amount. There is nil taxes, nil ADC collect. Is that clear? And if you wanted to see the TWD/tax, see the TWD/tax. There is no taxes are taken, and all of those taxes are paid taxes. PD. That means paid taxes. That is already paid. Now there is no extra taxes charged. That's why it is showing total tax is 0. Rest of the taxes are paid. Is that clear? So I'm going to paste the steps for reissuance with nil ADC. Please do copy. Let me paste the steps. And once copied by everyone, let me know. Then we'll perform one more scenario. We'll at least discuss the 50% of that scenario, and rest tomorrow we'll discuss about the leftover topic. I have pasted in the chat. Please note it down. Once noted by everyone, let me know. Is that clear? Have you noted? Please tell me in the chat. Okay. Now, we are going to start with a new scenario. This is another PNR, and that PNR is again come for the changes in the reservation. So what is the step number 1 that we do? Tell me, what is the step number 1? We check the e-ticket coupon status. We check the penalties. So let's go and do quickly. TWD. We check the e-ticket coupon status, open for use, or future dated travel. Yes, no? Now, we go and type the command fxx entry, or we do fqd entry. Let's do this fqd entry. Delhi to London. Slash ABA slash CM slash 23rd August star 12th September slash R comma the date of issuance 24th June 2025. Done. And let's find the fare basis. So here you will see MLNC0M6 is the fare basis, and here is the same fare basis which we are looking for. If you see the base fare amount, so here you will either you can open this one or either you can open this one. So both all of them are the same fare basis. So let's go and open my first fare rules. FQN1 star PE, and let me do MD. Now, how much is the change penalty applicable here? Tell me how much is the change penalty? 10,000 rupees. So let's again delete everything from here and going to start from the beginning, that we got to see the 10,000 rupees is the penalty amount. We checked about it. Now we need to simply sell the seats. Let's go and sell the seats quickly. Now this time customer is looking to change the outbound journey. Instead of 23rd of August, 25th of August, he wanted to postpone 25th August, Delhi, London, British Airways. Now, the passenger is booked in which cabin class? Mic class of service. So now the mic class is available. So let me sell the mic class from here. Let me sell the mic class. Now I sell the mic class. Yes, no? Next, after selling the new seats, we again find out the new fare and the old fare. Let's go and find out the new fare. Now tell me, if I have to find out the new fare for this PNR, what is the command that I will type to get the new fare? Everybody, please tell me quickly in the chat. FXX slash the segment number 3, comma 4. Yes or no? Now I got the new fare. Here again, the system give me 4 different fares. Now we need to verify which one fare I was booked. So I was booked in this MLNC006 M6, yes or no? So either I can choose this one or either I can choose that one. So I am going to choose the same fare because the same fare is available. So why will I go and choose the higher fare? Yes or no? So let me select the same fare and I'm going to copy the entire fare and paste in the as a new fare. Done. Now let's go and find out the old fare. Tell me, how do I find out the old fare? Tell me the command. TWD. Absolutely correct. Now simply copy the entire fare from here and mention old fare, and let me do this. Done. Then I will do TWD slash tax to get all the taxes in one place. Done. Now we need to compare, yes or no? So let's compare it. Do you see any base fare difference? See, new base fare and old base fare. So base fare is nil. Now the taxes difference. Now let's go and find out the taxes difference. Now compare the YQ tax. 30,000 YQ tax. And here, let me this way. Now let me compare the YQ tax. 30,000 YQ, 30,000 YQ. 867 YR, 867 YR. 1092 IN, 1092 IN. Now, remember one thing. I am doing the calculation here in the notepad, okay? But I would recommend everybody to do this calculation in an Excel sheet, And to make you understand, I have already created an Excel sheet. Let me open the Excel sheet for you, which will give you a less chance of error. Okay. See, here is the Excel sheet. And in the Excel sheet, there is a simple information asked, entered, that you have to enter your base fare and new base fare and the old base fare. Okay. So always use this one. Here, I know that there is no base fare difference and the fare difference. That is why I'm able to get comparisons. But I would recommend everybody to go and make your Excel in this way. Let me do this one by one. Uh, my new base fare is also the same. See, the moment I enter the old base fare and the new base fare, you will see this this has a formula given, automatically gets calculated that there is nil base fare difference. Similarly, you put all the YQYR and the other taxes here as an under the new fare and under the old fare, and you will get the difference amount automatically. Is that clear? Yes, no?
Naveen, can you take a higher class? Because I suppose we would like to see that how you're adding that calc line completely. While
Tomorrow I will do that.
okay,
Tomorrow we have a scenario. There is a three different scenarios. So where the scenario will be a penalty applicable, a fare difference also applicable. All the things will be shown in a one page. Okay.
okay,
So tomorrow we will see that part. Okay. So
okay.
is this clear? Now let's go and quickly talk about that. I know that I can check about that. There is no tax difference also. So base fare is nil. Tax difference is also nil. Okay. Now we have checked about a penalty, and the penalty is 10,000 rupees. Yes or no? We checked about the penalty amount, and there is a 10,000 rupees penalty. Now let's go and come to the steps here. We compare the fare difference and everything. Now we need to check with the passenger that, okay, there is only a penalty difference of 10,000 rupees. Are you okay with the changes? The customer will say, yes, I am okay with the changes. Okay. In that condition, you will simply go and save the changes in the PNR. Let's do the saving PNR. Done. After saving, again we will update the TST. Okay. So what I am going to do, I am not going to update the TST first. First of all, I am going to cancel the unwanted segment. Now the reason to show you why I'm going to cancel the unwanted segment first, let me cancel the unwanted segment first. Tell me what is the, which one is the unwanted segment? 2, 3 or 4? 2. So let me cancel XE2. Now, the moment I cancel the unwanted segment and let me save in the PNR. Done. Now, let me show you the TST. Now, do you see anywhere the PC flag is there? Understood? So, why the PC flag generated and how the PC flag gets reflected in the TST? Okay. So, after canceling the unwanted segment, you have to perform a command TTU and update the TST, because what I have done, I have canceled the unwanted segment first and then I will update the TST. So let's update the TST. TTU slash segment number 2 comma segment number 3, which is my new segments. So I updated the TST. Now, if I show you the TST here, the PC flag is there and the TST is updated. Now, the moment you update the TST, then again you save the PNR. Done? Is it clear? So these two steps are clear with everyone? Now we need to remove the PC flag. How do we remove the PC flag? TTF/all. Absolutely correct. Let's do this command here. The moment I do this, you get a message TST flag removed. Let's go and see the PC flag removed. Yes, no? Once it is removed, again save the PNR. Done? And then we will go ahead for the updation of the missing information, missing TST informations. So tell me, if I open the TST, what is missing? The fare basis is missing, the validity dates are missing, and the baggage allowance is missing. Yes or no? Tell me yes or no. All right. So what we will do, we will update the fare basis, validity dates, and the baggage allowance one by one. Now this time, what I am going to do, I am going to update all the three missing elements together. That in one go, I will update all the three missing elements. Now how? Let's look at here. TTK/T1 slash L1. L1 means this is to be updated for the line number 1 slash. What is the code that we use to update the fare basis? B. And from where do I find out the fare basis? Here is in the new fare. So I copy the entire information. I type the B and pasted the fare basis part. Now let me remove the, and I will type V. This time I am updating all the missing information in one go. So what I'll do, I'll simply put a slash V followed by the validity dates and then slash A and followed by the baggage informations. So this is my NVA, NVB. This is my fare basis and here is the baggage. Is that clear? So how will you update the every information in one go? Here you will see. Is that clear? So if somebody wanted to note down, you can note it down. This is how you will see all the three missing elements gets updated. Is that clear? Now, after updating the TST updations, we'll set up the TST for the reissuance. Let's go and do this. TTK/exchange. Enter. Now, the moment I do this TTK/exchange, my TST got changed from base fare indicator changed from F to R, taxes indicator got changed from X to O, total and the grand total becomes 0, and the form of payment is also changed here. Is that clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now let's go and save everything till this step. Okay. Now tomorrow we will start with the calculation of the total ad collect. How do we show the only penalty amount? Now what all the other things to be applicable on the top of penalty? Everything will be discussed tomorrow. All right. Is that clear? And that is the reason I saved this PNR till this step. And I am going to save the fare also in the notepad so that we can open the fare and start looking at from the rest of the steps. Is that clear? All right. Thank you so very much for today's session, and you join on the time. Again, some of you are joined late. So I would request everybody, please join at least before the 10 o'clock so that we can start dot at 10 o'clock. Okay?
Mr. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, yes, Saurav, tell me.
So I need your help actually. Could you please share the documents of yesterday's and today's also? Yesterday, so,
Yesterday's topic.
yeah, I mean the starting one actually.
So are you talking about these one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'll send it to you in the chat box. Copy.
And then the documents, I mean the PDF file that you said earlier, but I couldn't download actually.
Okay, so are you talking about the PDF file? Sure.
Correct.
I will send it to you. Sonali, can you please help me with that and sending the PDF file? Thank you. So Sonali has already sent.
So, yeah.
Vrushali, please download it from here and keep it on your laptop and desktop. That will be very easier and convenient way. Okay, Vrushali? All right. Now let's end the session for today because there is another session scheduled at 2 o'clock. One more thing, like yesterday, you have received the feedback survey on your browser. Again, today you will receive the same survey feedback on your browser. Please do participate in the feedback survey. There are questions asked you with yes or no. So you have to answer either yes or no with some of the questions. But there is a last question which is asked to rate the Amadeus based on the training. And there is a rating scale 1 to 10. So please rate it accordingly. If you rate it close to the 10, that means you are satisfied and excellent with the trainings. So I would request you to please rate it accordingly. All right. And do participate in the feedback survey. Thank you so very much. See you tomorrow.